What have you been putting off in your life? What have you been procrastinating on? Whether it's due to fear, whether it's due to procrastination, which is fear anyway. So whether it's due to, say, the opinions of other people, whether it's to do with, say, believing that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, or that you don't have the right information to get this going. What have you been putting off over maybe the last year, the last few years? It could be a handful of years. Because for me personally, I put many things off in my life previously for many, many years, which I'm going to be speaking to you about today. So let me just go through my slides today, people. And we got here, what is a hero? So again, you can type it in the chat, in the comments, what you believe a hero is. But for me personally, I believe a hero is somebody who has been called to embark on a journey to achieve something extraordinary in their lives, to achieve greatness in their lives, no matter what the road's going to look like, whether they know the pathway or not. Because quite often, the heroes that we know and love in our lives, they do face a lot of challenges in their journey. Like, they don't know the whole pathway, and quite often they come up against many challenges. So I'm just going to go here. Like, look, for instance, on my screen, you've got Rocky, you've got Wonder Woman, and you've got Superman. So all these people here are what we see as heroes. And I can't think of anything or any of these three people that I've just got here as the pictures, what they've gone through in their journey, where they haven't faced challenge, where they haven't faced failure, where they haven't faced other people putting them down or telling them they're shit, they can't do it, they should give up, for instance. So all of these heroes in our lives are the ones that get told that they can't do it, they shouldn't do it. And they got every reason to believe why they can't do it and shouldn't do it. And they've got every single reason why they should give up as well. So everyone that is on this call or who will watch this back, for instance, I just want to let you know that you are the hero of your very own unique journey. Because we're all creating this mental movie within our own minds, in our own lives. And we are all the hero of our own unique journey. So what am I going to be talking to you about today? Today, I want to be talking to you about, if I can get the other picture up, just bear with me, people. The other picture has not come up. I want to be talking to you about how sometimes your most profound periods of pain can also turn out to be your greatest gifts of growth. So just bear with me while I try and get this other picture up. It's not coming up, but we can work with it. So you can see a picture of me there. The other one is obviously of me quite happy and smiley. You might be able to see it down there in the bottom if I zoom in. So yeah, I want to talk to you about how you can turn your most profound periods of pain into your greatest gifts of growth. And how you can use, say, your greatest fears as fuel in your favor to drive and propel you towards a future of fulfillment. So look, who am I? So my name is Ryan Nurse. I am a traumatic brain injury survivor and thriver who's also suffered from and overcome depression after a relationship breakup. I literally took my life from deathbed to sunbed, from depression to progression, and from calamity to crystal clear clarity. But look, people, it wasn't always that way. So as you see here, here's a picture of me as a young boy, probably about 11 years old there. My first ever car parkour that was. But look, I was a fun kid. I was an excited kid. I love to smile. I love to be happy. I love to try and make other people happy. I was confused. I was that kid that was the naughty kid at school, the excited, the one that they couldn't control, the one that the teachers always put down and said, oh, he'll never amount to anything. He could have never achieved his dreams. He's never going to turn out to be anything, say, significant in his life. I was the one that the teachers gave up on. But look, people, I want to take you back to 2011. So this picture here, this was just after what I'm going to be speaking to you about here. So I think I just turned 19 this day here, but I'm going to take you back to 2011, where I was an 18-year-old boy. So back in 2011, I used to go to a nightclub with some friends, and this nightclub was so local. Me and my friends, we would always go there. And we went there one night. There was some trouble in the club. So me and my friends, we left the club. We entered a taxi. But we noticed this group of guys followed us out, and they literally removed us from the taxi. And after this sort of short disagreement, short debate, we sort of just said, look, it's going to be wise if we get a separate taxi back to the safety of our parents' homes. So we entered a separate taxi, we turned left out of the car park, and we turned left again onto a dark, unlit road. And as we was driving down this road, we noticed that those same bright white headlights of the same vehicle that we'd just been extracted from filled the whole interior of our vehicle. And out of nowhere, there was a loud, angry voice screaming through our driver's walkie-talkie, demanding that we pull over. And our driver began to slow the vehicle. He began to slow down. So we questioned him. We said, like, why are you stopping? What's the reason for you for stopping? There was no answer. He just stopped the vehicle and he pulled up on the side of the pavement and he turned the car off. And that same car that we'd just been removed from with those angry men in pulled up behind us. They switched the lights off. And then there was this eerie sound of silence where me and my friends were saying, what's going to happen next? We were scared. We was confused. And then there was this big loud bang on the passenger front window, to which my friend opened the window to see what the issue was. And as he did, he began to get punched through the window. So I automatically opened my door to try and stop this madness. That same fist greeted me at my door. I hadn't even had a chance to take my seatbelt off, and I was being pummeled in the left side of my temple multiple times. You know, it was like a hammer drill to the head. It was like a cricket bat to the head, just over and over and over again. I had my seatbelt on. I couldn't undo the buckle, and I was sat there like a sitting duck. But thankfully for me, I managed to pop that buckle, and I run down a side road to call for help. My friend come to pick us up, and as he picked us up, I got in the car, and my heavy head was just spinning. I couldn't keep it up. And my friend demanded that he take me to hospital. I just wanted my bed. So I insisted that he take me back to my parents' home. The very last thing that I remember was walking through the front door. And now I can only talk to you from my parents' point of view. My mum said that I entered maybe about 5 in the morning, and I didn't even speak to her. I didn't even look at her when she asked me if I was okay. And then a few hours go by, and I start vomiting this jet black vomit. And before you know it, the paramedics were called, and I was rushed to hospital. I had to go into the first hospital, and then they had to transfer me to a specialist hospital. I went into that hospital and had to go in for an emergency brain operation, where I suffered from a fractured skull and a blood clot due to a bleed on the brain. That evening, when my parents got to see me, the doctors and specialists said to my parents, look, Ryan's not looking in a good way. We really would suggest you go home. Tell his family, friends, loved ones that he's not going to make it through the night. So my parents obviously had to do that. But on the third day, however, I was still being kept alive by the life support machine in the coma. And again, the specialists invite my parents up. And as they sat down, the specialist on the operation said, because there is absolutely zero brain activity, because Ryan's not responding, we would highly suggest that you pull the plug on his life support machine. But my dad saved my life. My dad stood up and he said, no fucking way. My dad said, I know Ryan more than any of you know Ryan, and Ryan takes his own time to do anything in life. So you need to give him that time. By my dad doing that, he saved my life. I was in hospital for about 3.5, just under 4 weeks. But I was in a coma for 1 week. And then just before waking up, I was gifted an out-of-body experience where I ended up seeing every single face in my life, and they were all silently sobbing. But now that I look back and do the research on it, I truly believe that all of those faces were crying because I hadn't yet finished the job that I was sent here to do in the first place. Hence the reason why my life was spared and I was sent back. Because the doctor, the specialist, said, look, he's never going to wake up. And if somehow he does wake up, he will never walk or talk again, and he will be in a vegetative state for the rest of his life. I walked out in under 1 month, like almost nothing had happened to me. I truly believe that someone or something was looking over me whilst I was in that experience and sent me back here. And, you know, looking back from a child, I had many close calls with death. People say I was like a cat with 9 lives. I don't need any more lives because this is the last one that I ever need, because this is the one that I'm really going to make work for me and the one that I'm going to have the biggest impact on. So as you can see here on the slides, there was the blood clot there where the doctor said it pushed my brain so far down my spine that the brain damage would have been unreal, and I would never have come back from that. This here would have been the very last picture of me ever to be taken. But I walked out of that hospital just in time for Christmas. And only just a few months after, I ended up meeting the girl of my dreams. We ended up going on to creating this amazing, perfect life. The life that society says we need to have in order to be happy, in order to be successful, in order to be perfect. This perfect life wasn't so perfect at all. As much as we say, had the house, we had the cars, we had the holidays, it wasn't so perfect. For me in that moment, I didn't enjoy my career. I actually hated my job sometimes, and I was trapped. And because of this, I felt stuck because, you know, I let my wage become my cage. I was just working and working and working just to pay for the house and the shit that I didn't really need, to just carry on working to pay for the crap that I didn't want or need. I was trapped in this shit cycle that I couldn't get out of. But look, we had that house. We had everything. Everyone looking in from an outsider's point of view, so we was living the perfect life. In 2018, we decided to do this massive extension on our house, as you can see in the picture there. And we decided to go on 5 holidays, the most holidays that we'd ever been on. And then we come back from our last holiday. Literally, it felt like a day or two after we come back from our last holiday, after spending 2 weeks of arguing with each other for what seemed no apparent reason. My girlfriend of over 6.5 years said we should stop spending as much time with each other. I didn't know what was going on. The more time that we spent away from each other, before you know it, we're in separate rooms. We're sleeping in separate rooms. We're not spending any time with each other. I spent Christmas alone. I spent my birthday alone. And then in March 2019, we were meant to go backpacking around Cape Town. But only just a couple of days before, I walked into a restaurant to see her sat there with another guy. And as much as this shattered my heart into a million pieces, it also gave me this huge sense of liberation, because that just confirmed that all of those thoughts, those feelings that were going on in my mind for many months prior were all just confirmed to be true. I wasn't crazy, and it was all true. But in that moment, I realized that we can't control other people's thoughts, opinions, words, or actions. And we can only control the meaning and the response that we give to them. So what did I do? Only just a couple of days later, I decided to embark on this one-way trip to Cape Town by myself on my first ever solo trip. And I was so scared. I believed that I couldn't do it. I shifted my mindset to say that I could do it. So I went there. I went to Cape Town for a few weeks, and I had the best time of my life. I pushed myself so far out of my comfort zone, and I'd done things that I once believed was not possible. And then what happened? I come back to now what was an empty home. And in that moment, 2 things I absolutely hated was my own company and the sound of silence. And when I realized that was all I had, I completely come down and I broke down. And every single day after that, I was going down this deep downhill spiral where I soon turned to drink and drugs. And this is the person that doesn't do drugs and literally drinks a handful of times a year. And I was doing it on a daily basis. Things got so bad, I had to take myself to the doctors. They prescribed me with antidepressants, but I said that I wasn't ready to take them because I believed that I hadn't exhausted all avenues. I done CBT counselling and I lied my way out of that. And the weekend that I lied myself out of it, as you can see that arrow there, I sat there on a Saturday morning and I planned to kill myself. And as I'm sat there, knowing exactly what I'm going to do, I had that shoulder devil and shoulder angel. The devil just saying, do it, do it, do it. And the angel saying, remember, your greatest fear is death. And I managed to use my fear in my favor, because having that fear of death caused me to procrastinate. And as I procrastinated, one single thought came into my mind, and it said, could I live with the thought of dying with regrets? And the honest answer was no, because I realized looking back that I'd already overcome death. If I can overcome that, I can overcome anything. I started to look around what I had. I had a roof over my head. I had food in my fridge, I had clothes on my back, and I had shoes on my feet. And there's me. I've already overcome death. And I have this amazing house around me. I have everything that I wanted and needed. But I'm being so ungrateful. So I started to look what I had rather than what I didn't. I started to count my blessings rather than my problems. Because in life, what you focus on expands. In that moment, I absolutely hated work. And you can't see the picture of me there, it's not showing, but I believe like work was like going to hell in that moment. I had to check in at hell every single day to pay for my membership in prison. And that prison was what we call a home, you know? And I felt I was trapped within this prison, which was the home. But I soon realized that the only ever prison that we are ever trapped in is the one that we have created within our own mind. So I was so focused on all of my problems, and I started to attract more and more problems towards me. But as soon as I started to focus on the blessings that I had in my life, being grateful for every single thing, I started to attract amazing things. The house finally got sold, and I moved back to my parents. I set myself a travel challenge to visit a different country every single month for a year. I done it for 7 months, and then 2020 come around, and I said I'm going to visit 20 countries in 2020. I went to one place. I went to Rome. And then COVID kicked in. It wiped out all of the rest of the travels that I booked. But COVID for me was an absolute blessing in disguise because it allowed me to focus on what I wanted rather than what I didn't want. And it allowed me to start networking with people online. And I actually set up a mental health charity group that I've done every single Sunday to get people that were suffering with their mental health to help them find an outlet, to help them speak in a free, open place, a safe, secure spot on a Sunday. And I realized this was my true calling. Because for me, I'd been trapped in that job for over a decade. I had one single job my whole life. And for over a decade, I was in that job because of the fear of leaving it was keeping me trapped. But 2021 come around, someone challenged me to quit my job, and they gave me 7 days notice to quit my job of over a decade, almost 13 years in the end. And I committed. I said, yes. I said, yes, I'm going all in on me, my dreams and desires, and becoming the very best version of myself. And I went all in. The week after, as much as it was uncomfortable, I quit that job. I said to my boss, I'm doing this. Because if you're not all in, you're literally all out. Before you know it, I'm networking with people. You can't really see the images there. They haven't come up, but you can see there. I was surrounding myself with winners, Stephen Bartlett, many famous entrepreneurs I was networking with. Marco, for instance, I see him on television. Only just a few years later, he's my mentor, he's my friend. I was doing podcasts, invited to be a part of books, for instance, on radio stations, in magazines. I couldn't believe this. This is only just a few months after fully committing to my job, because when you fully commit and you lean in, doors start opening up. However, in 2022, I felt like my life had flatlined. And if you're not growing in life, you're literally dying. So one morning I was sat there and I said, I need to do something big, something bold, something brave, courageous. So I picked up my credit card and I booked a one-way ticket to Mexico the very next week. I'd never been to Mexico. And I went. I packed up all my stuff. I sold all my stuff and I went. I literally went from Mexico all the way down every single country to Brazil. And now I've come back up and I've been here in Colombia for the last 5 months, where I'm currently speaking to you from. But what do I do this for? I've been sharing my message across the world, online with other people, networking groups, events, for instance. In my book, my new book that I'm going to speak to you about. I've been helping people discover, design, and live their dream lives. Anything is possible if you fully commit to your vision, your dream, and you go all in on it. And for me, that's what I've done, because I know I have greatness inside of me, and so do you too. And I'm here to help you do that. So how do I do that, you may ask? I do it through my, you can't see the picture. I do it through my things like my book here. As you can see down here, my book, which is titled Sort Your Shit Out. If anyone wants a copy, get over to Amazon, your Amazon, type in Sort Your Shit Out. Head over to sortyourshitout.ryannurse.com. Get yourself a copy to literally build your dream life. It's the blueprint that I use for my life and for my clients. Build the life of their dreams, to help you gain clarity and confidence, because we all need clarity. Because if you don't know where you're going in life, any road will get you there. If you don't have the rock solid self-confidence, you're never going to take the required and necessary action steps to actually achieve what it is that you need to achieve. So with this being said, I help my clients through a 12-week coaching process where I coach you through a one-to-one process, which is a proven process that I use with all of my clients now to get you from where you currently are to exactly where you want to be with less stress, struggle, and suffering. Because in life, all you need to know is two things: where you currently are and where you want to be. As long as you know those two pinpoint locations, then you're going to find a way, because there's always going to be a way over, under, round, or through. As long as you begin with the end in mind, you know exactly where you're going, and you know where you currently are in this moment, you're going to find a way. Yeah, it's not going to be a one-way, straight, single path, because life is not linear. But as long as you've got that goal in the vision in the future, you get someone to help you get there, you can overcome any obstacles that may come your way, because there is going to be, say, red lights, roadblocks, wrong turns. But if you've got someone with a proven practical guide and blueprint, they're going to help get you there. I will literally teach you how I took my life from deathbed to sunbed, from depression to progression, and from calamity to crystal clear clarity. And as you can see, Marco's there in the middle. Remember what I said? If you don't go all in, you'll end up going all out. Because if you're not fully committed to you and your dreams, then you'll be committed to someone or something else. Because the person without purpose will find pleasure in distractions. So whoever you work with in life, whether it's me, another coach from today, whether it's someone completely different, I really don't care. But what I do care about is you committing to your dreams and not getting to the end of your life with the regret of saying that I didn't go all in. Because regret is something that you're going to take to the tomb, people. Whatever you do, please don't take your greatness to the grave. So just remember this, people. We're on a heroic leadership summit today. We're talking about the heroes. I said that you are the hero of your own life's journey. You're the main character. You are the director, the producer, the writer, the editor. You are the camera operator who's filming this each and every moment through your own set of unique eyes. And at any given moment, you can decide to make a plot twist. Just as long as your beautiful heart is still beating, then that means you are still in the game and that you can make a change. So just put your hand on your heart there. And if you feel that, it means you're alive. And as long as you're breathing, and as long as this is still beating, you can do anything in your life. Anything is possible for anyone. You just have to choose that it's okay for you to do it, and that you're going to do it no matter what. So just imagine this as I'm finishing up now, people. Imagine this. Imagine we all get to the end of our lives. And whatever it is, whether it's Creator, God, whatever you believe in, plays you back your very own unique mental movie of your complete life. Let me ask you the question. Would you be excited to see what that looks like based on your current actions, your current dreams, your current desires, whatever you're doing in your daily basis, the way that you speak to yourself? Would you be happy? Would you be excited to watch that back at the end of your life? Because if not, you need to start making different choices. You need to start making changes, and you need to make solid decisions, which are rock solid decisions, to say, yes, I'm going all in on my dreams. I'm investing in myself, my future, my dreams, my desires, because I want to get to the end of my life with no regrets. And I want to be completely proud of everything that I've done. Because you know what, people? Take a look at this image. There's so many people that take their greatness to the grave. There's so many people that get buried with their very own unique golden globe in their coffin with them. Because look, we're all going to die. There's no getting out of this. Like, death is inevitable. No one is escaping death. It could be around the corner for any of us at any given moment. 18 years old, I was laying on my deathbed, zero brain activity. They wanted to pull the plug. So this is coming from somebody that has been there and seen exactly what it looks like. So please, do not take your greatness to the grave with you. Do not get to the end of your life with the regret of saying, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have spent that small little amount of money to discover my dreams. I wish I would have invested in that coach, that mentor. I wish I would have watched that YouTube seminar. I wish I would have watched this back, for instance. But no, you chose the easy life. You chose the life of comfort, which my friend Chris said earlier. There's no growth in the comfort zone. Like, your comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. So you need to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, because if not, you're going to be like that dude there in the picture. You're going to have so much greatness trapped inside you, and you're going to get buried with it. The graveyard is one of the wealthiest places on this earth. Just imagine all of those unused, undiscovered, and unused talent, skills, and abilities that the world never got to see, you know, that ceased to exist. Because so many people literally take their greatness to the grave, and nobody gets to see how great they truly are, because they kept it all inside them because of fear, because of opinions of others, for instance. Don't let that trap it inside you. Become the very best version of yourself. So as I end this now, I want to help you do that. And I would love to help you do this. Number one, I'm going to give you a life transformation handbook. All you need to do is get to this. So take a screenshot, take a picture on your phone, whatever you need to do. If you haven't done this already, go to freeguide.ryannurse.com. And this is how to transform your life within the next 12 months. This is a free guide. You've got all the information that you need there to start transforming your life. So if you want, take a screenshot of that. If you want to go to even more levels, if you want to go to the next level to get more things done, visit my website, which is ryannurse.com. So type in your browser on your phone, for instance, ryannurse.com. And you can click on the links there, which is join my free newsletter. Every 5 days, you're going to get tactical, practical, actionable information for you to level up your life and become the very best version of yourself. So visit my website, join the free newsletter. You'll see the button there. Join the free Facebook group to get involved with other like-minded individuals, because look, you become the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So surround yourself with winners, doers, achievers, believers, for instance. And for those who are truly committed, as you can see there, go onto my website, fill out a short form with a few questions, and book in your free one-to-one clarity call with me. If you're truly committed to your dreams, look, I would really love to work with you, and I'd love to help you actually design, create, and live the life of your dreams. Because look, you have greatness inside of you. I know it. Everyone else knows it. You truly know it yourself. And if you don't, you're too scared to actually unleash it and show it and share it with the world, then I want to be the person that's going to help bring it out of you, get clear for what you want, start taking those necessary action steps to get to the place where you truly want to be. So thank you, everybody, for listening. I really do appreciate you all. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being here over these last few days with everybody. I'm sure you've taken a lot away from this. And if I've said something that has helped any of you today, please do get over to my Instagram or other social medias, mainly Instagram, get in my DMs, send me a message, which is at @RyanNurse_. That is at @RyanNurse_. Send me a message, tell me where you saw me, and I'd love to connect with you all. So thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you all. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to get back to the main man, Marco.